Salima, everyone. I almost forgot to hit go live on YouTube again, so that'll been fun. Have everybody catch up to the last minute. Happy new moon. Also, happy belated only by a few days solstice, summer solstice. So hopefully that's fun where you guys are at. It's a big day here. Maybe not a big day. It's like a big week or two because we max out on the sunlight in the north. And I keep trying to explain it to my child. Like, this is very significant. Like, look, the earth is tilting. The earth is moving. Like, pay attention to these different things. I'm not sure that they really, teach that stuff in school at any point. I'm probably a little too, what would we say, too into that stuff. I teach her, like, we can't just go into the woods and go camping. It's like survival training. Like, okay, now listen, if your plane crashes, this is how you survive. If the enemy is after you, like, this is what you need to do. This is how you protect yourself.
I love it.
So we can't just be let's go walk in the woods and enjoy nature. No, it has to be education.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm always like, maybe Bigfoot's out here. Maybe he'll get us.
We have those conversations too.
My kids. Yeah.
I'd explain to her about the fairies multiple times, just got to drive it home. Like, if you hear somebody calling your name in the woods, it's probably, unless you're lost and people are looking for you, definitely call back, but just be careful.
That reminds me, I saw a video of this guy who was following a voice in the woods. Okay. And and I was like, it's the fucking thing, don't do it. And I'm screaming because I'm like, this is scary. I got to see what happens. And what it was an actual, it was like a mountain lion hiding in
was calling his name?
It was calling, hello. Oh. And it sounded like a person, like it sounded like a kid or something like that. And so he used this stick to like poke at where it was coming from.
He was poking it.
Big like swipe that came out, and he like backed up and like didn't turn around and run, but he like backed up and like walked away. I was like, what did I just see? Oh my God. Do the Fae have claws?
Probably some of them do.
It took me like a minute to process that. Oh, it's a wild animal, and it's using a weird, like, mimicking a human call to kill you, and that's why they never find the bodies. So that was a really weird day. It was like, oh wow, I had some realizations there that were a little scary. I was like, oh yeah, maybe I won't go out into the woods by myself anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to go out here. We have wolves and bears and
you live in the wilderness. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Oh, that's I forgot about the summer solstice actually. So yeah, I didn't celebrate.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It just snuck up on me and I was like,
we count down the days going towards the solstice because, like, it's a different feel when the sun doesn't set it sets, but just it's only down for a few hours. So like, it's just a different vibe to be outside at like 1 a.m. and you can see everything, it's just different. So it's like this magical time. And then as it starts to go back, like there's definitely that sense of, what do you call that? It's not loss, but it's not as much fun. You're like, okay, we're heading back. It's visible in the sky. We're heading back to the time of darkness when we only get like 4 hours of daylight in the winter. So, but that's what makes it very enjoyable. This world of contrast that we live in, right? The duality.
Yeah, it's kind of magical. Yeah.
It is magical for sure. Definitely.
It is.
If you don't mind, Nikki, I'll go ahead and talk a little bit here about maybe the next 3-month period. The
oh my God, Gemini season. Yeah, it just snuck up on us. Like, I don't know, it snuck up on me so fast, and I thought it was pretty cool. Like it was rolling. The sun's rolling into Gemini as all of like these world events and all this information just starts pouring in about everything, this and that, and all of it. I don't want to.
I don't know about any of that going on. I have
Thank
no
God
idea.
You don't.
I'm completely checked out of reality, which is fantastic So
Yes.
if you guys don't know, because we weren't on last week, so I don't know who I've told, who I haven't told. I got it in my head. I know this isn't really how. Well, I actually don't know. Maybe this is what's going on. So there's this guy on the Duran, Alexander Mercurius. He is Greek, but like he's from England and whatnot, and he just has a really relaxing voice. So it wouldn't really matter what he was talking about. He happens to talk. He gives like he's got a contact in the Duma here in Russia, and he gives like a play-by-play every single day of what's going on the battlefront, like the geopolitical situation and stuff. And like I listen to it like while I'm cooking or cleaning, or just kind of when I don't want my brain to be focused on serious information. So then I'm like, every day I'm like, the war should have ended already. The war should have ended like months ago. Like it was primed to end months ago. Why isn't it ending? So I'm like, you know what? And I know this sounds crazy, and you guys can laugh if you want. Like, what if it's not ending because I just keep waking up and like reading about it or learning about it? Like, what if all the horrible stuff going on in the world is just because of these subconscious triggers? Because I'm pretty sure that none of this exists, and like it's all just a conscious experience. And I mean, if it's a multiplayer situation or a one person thing, I don't know for sure. I don't really think it matters. I think you got to look at it, like be prepared for both options. But anyways, I'm like,
yeah,
maybe quit looking at it. The problem will start to go away, because it's not the type of problem that I direct control over, like here in the material.
Yeah.
Call Putin up and be like, hey, do you guys want to like wrap it up already?
You guys want to lay off this shit? Yeah.
Yeah, can you just like be done with this already? So then so in that process, I was like, okay, I'm only gonna watch funny animal videos if I'm watching any type thing like that, or like motivational stuff, like so basically detoxing from the news and any type of information going on in the world. And it is awesome. I completely recommend it. You went all in, you're like way in there.
Oh, I did the opposite. Well, we took the week off, and I really needed it. I mean, I've just been burnt out, and you know what, guys, there is something about that Taurus Scorpio axis. Whenever it gets hit, it kills me. I don't know what it is, but I turn into a big like blah, crying like mess, and it just made everything worse. And the heat here, and it was just too much for me. And so like I'm coming off of that, and then this all happened, and then I just dove right in. I was like, I'm watching the news, I'm sucking it all, like all the information, I'm taking it all in. I'm like, all of these people are lying, obviously. Just kind of trying to take in what I can and pull whatever like tidbits of actual truth you can find out of like whatever it is they're saying on the news here. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was freaked out. I've been freaked out, and
try not watching it.
Well, yeah, I quit watching it, obviously, because I was having trouble sleeping, and I was like, well, this probably doesn't help. And I'm sleeping a lot better. Sleeping a lot better, actually having like crazy dreams and stuff like that. Like, I wanted to tell you about my dream, because I never have like sexy dreams, but I kind of have.
Okay.
It was really weird though.
Share it for the whole world. Go for it.
Yeah, sure, because it was so weird. So like a bunch of different things happened, but this dream, I broke down the symbolism. Me and Chat GPT, we talked about it this morning, because I was like, well, this is really weird. And I never have like awesome, like, dreams like that, like some people are like, oh yeah, I have sexy dreams all the time. Okay. So in this dream, I'm at a party, and I sit down next to this girl, and she is like my date. And I'm like, what? I was like, what? I look at her like, what? You're not my date. I don't date girls. And she was so sweet and nice, and we started making out. And I was like, oh my God. And she was wearing like this red sweater. And like I closed my eyes, and I'm like, we're kissing. And then I open my eyes up, and I'm by myself, like on the couch wearing the red sweater. So I was like, oh, so is this like a weird aspect of me? I'm like having all these thoughts in my dream. So maybe I guess I didn't really have a sexy dream with somebody else, but
maybe you need some self-love. Maybe there's
Chat didn't say that. Yeah, well, yeah, I did say that self-love stuff
Oh, okay.
because, well, as the dream went on, I was like walking and I found a purse that somebody was throwing away, like on the side of the sidewalk. They was like in their pile of shit to go, and I was like, oh my god, that looks familiar. And I picked it up and I started looking at it, and it started morphing into all these different like purses that I used to carry around. And I was
Your
like,
old
you know,
baggage. Yeah.
yeah, I was like, I don't really like this. And I put it back in the pile and I like kept walking. And there were a lot of other really weird things that happened in the dream, but it was like a lot of like symbolism around identity and what do I identify with, and like old personality stuff, and old baggage stuff. Yeah. My old dog was there. She passed, but she didn't like come up to me. She like ran up to my mom, and like my mom laid down on the dirty garage floor with her and petted her. And I'm like, oh, I was like, ew, you guys.
I think it still counts.
That was kind of sad. It does. I was like, well, Zelda, I loved you too. You can come see me.
Stand by 1 second.
Yeah, no problem. So I guess it doesn't really technically count as like a sexy dream, but maybe sort of. Lots of red sweaters in my dream too. So
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like red. That's a nice new
red, yeah. I almost wore red today too. I love red. Oh yeah, it's my fave. But yeah, weird. Well, anyway, weird. But I would remember. I've been having lots and lots of dreams that I remember, and it's they're just weird. It's like
my dreams are super weird. Like so weird that they're not really, I can't really even explain them most of the time. If I can.
Yeah.
It's
well,
what
miraculous. Really triggered the dreaming, and I think that this is gonna sound weird to a few people, but I like to astral travel. And I do that a lot when I sleep. And what I did was I took recently a couple of mirrors that I used to own from the old house, and I took them down and I put them away, and I got some new ones and I put them up, and like I'm dreaming better. I'm like have such a healthier like sleep, everything. So I'm like, well, what the fuck? Is it like because I like traveling through the mirrors? I think mirrors can be portals. I don't know. I'm weird into the magic stuff like that. So I don't know if I like opened up something new, and
maybe.
I don't know.
Very possible.
Yeah. I like it though. It's like, I don't know. I wake up and I'm not like sad, I guess.
Well, that's good. Yeah, that's a win.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So I mean, you're probably hoping for a better, sexier dream, but I was like, that's as like close as I can get. So
yeah, take what you can get good. For sure. I've been I've been having a lot of dreams about the moon lately. So I mean, I'd go into more detail, but again, they're bizarre, and you can't really describe them. But the one was really cool because I missed the lunar standstill, or the major lunar standstill, the other day. We tried really, really hard to see it, but the moonrise like way, way far south. But I dreamt I was in Michigan on the farm, and we watched the full moon come up, but it was like only up for like, it was so low in the sky. It was only up like 20 minutes. So, but it was still really cool. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking of the moon. So this new moon actually falls really close to the actual solstice. So this is going to, depending on how you want to look at it, it could actually reflect a 3 to 6 month forecast, just seasonally and whatnot. But hold on, let me see here. Let me stop this so I can focus and talk about it. Hold on. What's today? The 25th. That's right. Yeah, that's 25th. All right. Yes. So here's the new moon. I don't know what time it is where you guys, I think this is, what location do I have in here? Like Alaska or something, I think. Hold on. What did I put? Like Kamchatka or something. Okay.
Even the time, it's really, really close.
Now, I would like to preface this. If you're new here and you don't know, or you're new to astrology and nobody's ever told you, because it's not something that they like to tell you. all of these things affect people differently. Like Nikki, before we jumped on the call, has already described, it sounds like Sun in Gemini. Gemini season's not working out so well for her necessarily, at least in some respects. I'm sure in others it's fine. So far, it's amazing for me. So this is a great example of these things don't affect the same people the same way. So this is an extremely general forecast, and we have to look at it for all of planet Earth. Now, we could do one for, which country or this or that. But obviously there's people watching from all over the world. All 11 people, so maybe spread out, maybe all in like Wisconsin or something. We're not sure. But anyways, just understand that these things this isn't like programming your future. This is a weather forecast, and it does not tell you how specifically like you're going to react to any of these things. So if an astrologer's out there telling you what your experience is going to be, and they're speaking in those concrete terms, that's a problem. And you should definitely run fast, run far. Okay. So anyways, while we have the moon right here conjunct, this is a very important part of the sky. It happens to occur right above Orion. Now in Mesopotamia in particular, this was Papshakal, or the true shepherd of Anu. Sometimes female, sometimes male, depending on the mythology, which you want to look at. But what we're seeing here is reluctant leadership. This person is an emissary of the supreme divine energy, and has no tolerance for wickedness, corruption, and acts as a shepherd of the people. So this will be pulling in this guidance. It calls everybody on some level to step up and really take a leadership role, whether that is leading by example or kind of taking the bull by the horn, so to speak, possibly pun intended, this close to Taurus. Either way, like, it's not a time to sit back and just let things happen to you. Like, you definitely want to take a more active role. Now, in the Mesopotamian tradition, these two figures up here, mouse still wants to do it. I think my mouse pad is on its last leg. These two figures up here are basically aspects of Mars, Lugalira, and Meshlamtai. And that makes them very sensitive. Here in this dual companionship, they are listed as the great twins, and we can take from that they are likely siblings, but even if they're not, they are brothers forged from common experience. So this is a very empathic constellation. Now, in the Mesopotamian system, we don't see all of those air qualities. That is something that came from the classical and Hellenistic period. But either way, this is making everything that's occurring either, again, we can look at it this month, we can look at it as a 3-month, or even like a 6-month period while the sun is in like this waning period, or at least in the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be in the opposite. So either way, this empathic energy is going to echo throughout, and it happens to occur right when Mercury is between what is in Mesopotamia much more of a, we would call a cognitive constellation here in Cancer, and also pulling some of this empathic energy from Gemini. So Mercury is very similar to what it originally was in Mesopotamia, like the current meanings. It's very much about listening, learning, all the cognitive stuff, all the mental stuff, not as much subjective. But when it starts to get into Cancer, this is the underworld, the inner world. We say underworld. There's no evidence that they really thought it was some place under the ground. Some of the entrance points were clearly in the sky. So it's just this other spiritual realm, and we can, look at that whatever terms you want to use. But here Mercury does become much more subjective and more trying to learn from one's own experiences, trying to understand the self. And so this is something that's going to occur. Please, please, please. So again, this is a forecast. This is like I'm saying, it's if you've been in a drought for many a month, and I'm telling you it's going to rain, like, this is the time, go out, collect the water in the buckets. I can't tell you if you're going to have a fun rainy period, or you're going to have a sad one, or you're going to sleep through it. That's on you. Those are your decisions to make. But I can tell you the conditions, and the condition is this is a great time to go out and actually or go inward, try to understand yourself, learn about who you are, where you've been, what you want. I wouldn't focus quite as much maybe on the past stuff, but really start to focus on what you want to, the person that you want to become, because your outer environment, the world that you live in, is basically just a reflection of all of those things. So this is something that we can continue to draw on for quite some time. It's also going to kind of freeze frame this Mars here. This sucks for Niki. It's going to freeze frame this Mars energy very close to Regulus here in Leo. Now, we don't have the same clear-cut rulerships in the Mesopotamian tradition as we do in like the classical and Vedic side. But if we had to pick some rulers, Mars would definitely be one of the rulers of Leo, not the ruler. That's definitely going to be Venus. So Mars is probably next, followed by possibly Jupiter, maybe the sun, depending on, but it doesn't matter. We're nitpicking there. But anyways, here, Mars in Leo, it's going to take this very sensitive deity, okay, this very Nergal, who was the god of the underworld. I'm not going to bore you with the whole story. I beat this horse like every single time that we're on the call. But basically, he was a big ball of squish inside, okay, very, very sensitive. He hid his deeper sensitivities via a very egotistical, very masculine, overtly courageous or even boastful type of exterior. So he does well. Yes, he's got a lot of that energy and activity and that hyper masculinity. He's also very, very sensitive on the inside. Now here in Leo, this is already a very sensitive constellation. Okay. This was the lioness of heaven, and she was the lady of battle, drenched in blood, but also she could be, you know, the benevolent mother goddess who is giving all of our love and blessings and all of those things. I would say, though, that this placement of Mars is much more active. It is much more on the, I don't want to say aggressive side, maybe more of the reactive side. That's the word that I'll use. And this placement very close to Regulus, and again, because this echoes throughout this next period, however you want to look at that, is going to make, if especially depending on how your Leo's positioned, if you already have your Mars, if you already have a very sensitive Mars in your chart, you're going to experience likely a very sensitive next couple of months, this month in particular, but over the, next 3 to 6 months. So that means that your body chemistry is much more sensitive than usual. Your physical body, your psychic body, energetic body. This can be a really good situation for connecting with a new romantic partner, or even an old romantic partner, or somebody that you're currently with. This can allow for a lot more intimacy and interpersonal connection. But just if you're a little more sensitive than usual, don't freak out. This is just, it's kind of, it's like after you get punched really hard, that spot for a few weeks is going to be bruised and a little tender, and that might be how you are. So you just have to kind of take it in stride. It will pass. Don't
I really like Mars in Leo. I think Mars in Leo is like super creative. It's super fun. It likes to have a good time. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
been experiencing some, I don't know. I think it's been fun. It's always a lot better than when Mars was in Cancer. I'll tell you that.
It is more. It is.
I wasn't having fun when Mars was in Cancer.
Well, again, that like that affects. It depends on where.
Oh yeah, it depends on the area of life it's hitting. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. Saturn's still in Pisces. This is going on for a long time, so I'm not going to focus too much on that. Venus is kind of right here between her. Between the front and back half of the bull, right beneath. We're not going to say maybe what she's doing under there, although she there's a lot of erotic poetry related to Venus and Anna in Mesopotamia, so feel free to explore that in your own time. We're not going to be reading. I don't think we should probably read some of it on the show.
No, we might get in trouble.
Yeah, might not. Well, I don't know that we get in trouble, but there's definitely some people who don't. They're not up for all of the euphemisms. I'm assuming. Either way, though, this is still a very creative placement for her. She is a little bit lower in the sky, which is still, when she gets close to the Pleiades, that does seem to be a very intense time. But I think that we're getting this nice combination. Now, I don't care what anybody out there says. This guy right here, Luhunga, which I know he's shown as a sheep, but this was the hired man, but it was also listed or associated with Demuzet, her husband, and he was a taming force in her life. He basically took care of her in whichever way you want to imagine, and made sure that she was happy. And so this was a very creative sometimes very erotic placement for her. As she gets closer to this part of the bull, she maybe gets a little bit more aggressive, but I think this is still a very nice, creative but soft position for her. So I don't like, if I'm looking at World War III, you guys, and again, I don't know what's going on out there. I have no idea, but I'm going to say no to World War III over the next 3 to 6 months. So congratulations on all of that. So that's how I think it looks good. Now, maybe it doesn't look good in your particular city, your country, but there's a big wide world out there, and most people are good, and most people are, they're just going through life, and it's not raining chaos and hellfire everywhere. Some places, yes, but usually someplace it is. So just kind of factor that in when you're hi, mermaids wear hats. Hi, Niki Ten.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Venus rolling through Aries was just kind of super sensitive time. Like, not like, kick the door down sensitive time, but, I mean, there were definitely Venus
you like
rolling
it there?
through Aries. I liked it. I felt like, yeah, I mean, I absolutely felt like it was a lot better than Pisces. I mean, that energy was getting.
You did? I really liked it in Pisces.
It was great, but it hit the end of Pisces, and I'm like, you're just like, ready. How much? Yeah, how much just more of this
to go?
Yeah, ready for it to change. I mean, how much self work can you do? And it just gets to be like, oh my God, I don't know. I don't know. I want to get into it. Yeah, done on the self work. Like, when do we get to have fun this time?
Yeah, what do you got for us this month?
Yeah. Well, this month, I mean, a lot of the same, about, what you said, but we have Jupiter, right there too. And I didn't realize Betelgeuse was like right aligned with this, this new moon, which is really lucky, I think. I mean, Betelgeuse has long been a lucky star for, as long as astrologers have been telling me and all the books I read. This is actually happening really close to my own North Node. So it's been nice to actually feel some optimism and lightheartedness and happiness. And I think that's just that Jupiter effect. Jupiter just gets that expansive reputation because, whatever he touches, it just amplifies it, kind of like Pluto does, where he expands it.
Yes.
Sorry. But yeah. So it makes this cycle a little bit more, lighthearted. Like, the stars of Gemini are like that, though. I mean, I've always experienced it to be a lot more, fun, lighthearted, like an adventure time. Let's socialize, let's talk, let's make some connections. Like, I've always kind of felt Gemini to be that type of, set of stars, and always experienced it that way. Like, I do know a few Geminis, and they are some of the like deepest thinkers. Like, they tend to overanalyze and overthink. And I think, that's what we could experience as the sun is moving through, and as we're seeing the formations and aspects form in the sky. So this new moon is actually a part of a bigger aspect called a yod. And a yod in like the natal charts are like faded, we pay extra attention to it. But in transit, it's just, more like a course corrector. It's more like just an energy that's more fleeting. It's not like set in stone. This isn't like faded time. But yeah, it's more like a bit of a reset, I think. Course correction, realignment. Really, because it's making this sextile and double quincunx to, sextile to Mars in Leo. And then both of them are making an aspect to Pluto, which is a kind of a harder energy to work with, depending on how it sits in your chart and, what area of life it's sitting in right now for you. Pluto can be, I don't know. I've experienced Pluto as being somewhat of amazing. Which is like weird to say, because I've experienced Pluto as being like really creepy and weird and, and having like outside experiences that are just like, ugh, this is dark and odd and sinister and all those sorts of like the things that people, you know, associate Pluto with. But I think, you know, this energy it's going to be short lived, especially with the sun moving so fast and all of the rest moving so fast. But that sextile energy is, you know, really good for like communicating creatively, you know. And how does this affect Pluto in that yod? I mean, Pluto's going to kind of, I think, influence a lot more fears around how you communicate and what you communicate about. You know, and that's just what Pluto's really good at, you know, that kind of scary fear
Maybe
of authority, fear of
drawing up your old karmic insecurities and stuff that, like, you know, stuff you're afraid to look at.
Yeah, because Pluto's really good at purging all of like the old stuff. This transformation is never, oh God, I mean, it's never beautiful, right? I mean, even when we have babies, it's a mess. There's a lot going on down there. Everybody's like, oh, it's so pretty. It's just the miracle of life. I remember having my firstborn, my son, Vinny. And I remember looking around like after I had him, like, this is like not magical at all.
Yeah, they don't tell you about all the blood and the gore and the like the weeks of blood and gore. No, they don't tell you about any of that.
After birth, all of that. I mean, they don't really no. They're like, oh, you have to keep pushing. Oh, I thought it was done. Oh, it's messier. Yeah. It's and that's life though. That's like how we transform. It's messy. There's tears involved. It's gross. I mean, that's how it works, guys, unfortunately. So I'm not saying that's what, you know, is happening to you. I'm sure on some level, shape, or form, it's affecting you. But I mean, Pluto and Capricorn, you know, is apparently already happened, but it didn't. And we're seeing its effects right now in the world, you know, and we've got this strategic purging of social systems and you know, governments and all of this like crazy wild stuff going on. You know, and then like when you look at how it would affect an individual, you know, then you would see something along the lines of like fear of failure, you know, confronting, you know, yourself and your own inner authority, and how like, are you taking charge of your own life, or are you just going with the waves and hoping somebody will come like lift you out of it and save you? Because, oh, I'm telling you, this Neptune Saturn conjunction has been kicking my ass, but in a good way. And I guess it depends on the day. I've felt like that energy, and I know we've talked to death about it. So I mean, I don't want to do too much about Neptune and Saturn either, but I felt like it's been like a stop and go energy. And like, it's kind of pissing me off. I'm like, I want to get steam rolling. I want to get going. But it's like, as soon as you pull something together, it gets pulled apart. And then you're like pulling in new ingredients and it gets pulled apart. And then you like, I don't know. That's the best way I could describe it. Because I'm like mentally fried trying to like come up with like, what is this doing to me? Like Saturn is such an important figure in everybody's chart, because it's how we approach responsibility, how, you know, it's our style, our work style, our everything, you know, the material world, our material security, you know, our daily work, our social status. I mean, all of that's under, you know, Neptune's influence, and Neptune doesn't like boundaries. Neptune's like the full expanse. Like there's a lot going on with Neptune too that I absolutely love your view on, being Neptune more as a like a communication planet, but more or less like a spiritual communication planet. So I mean, we see that with all of the aspects going on, everything that, I mean, we're still in the middle of a big upheaval. Some of us are still being course corrected. Like there is a spiritual purpose for everything. And spirituality has really just been laughed at and made fun of and discredited the last few decades. And it's just woo, and it doesn't
decades. I think it's been a few centuries.
Yeah. And it's just ridiculous, actually. Because it's the thing that's the ingredient that's really missing out of a lot of people's lives. They feel as though like a religion is going to fill that void, or a, worship of another person, or a group, or a system, when, the work is really in here. Like, what does your spiritual foundation look like? What is it based on? Who are you? And have you dealt with all of the social conditioning you've had since you were little? I mean, because you got Mercury in Cancer, I think, bringing up a whole bunch of different things. Like Cancer happens to be like my 12th house, or, in Mesopotamia, or how you read is a little different. But I mean, it's brought up a lot of different childhood things for me, a lot of different childhood like conditionings where I'm like, oh, I don't need that anymore. I thought so much about this, and now I can finally let it go, which I think is one of the positives about Mercury being, in opposition with Pluto right now, is like it's perfect time to go through and do a psych check on yourself. Get rid of the thoughts that don't belong there, get rid of the things that are holding you back, because we're living in a world right now that is fear-based. It's like you're constantly getting bombarded with ads. Like, do you have enough? Can you consume more? Are you healthy? Do you need this drug? I mean, there's all these like subliminal messages that we have to push out and sort through, that are manipulating and not cool. So yeah, this cycle is really, highlighting that Gemini Sagittarius axis, because I think the full moon will be in Sagittarius. And, so we are searching for higher truths. We are searching for, something that's actually sustainable and buildable and believable. And this cycle, I think it just highlights that. I mean, you're going to have people who watch the news and believe everything they see, and that's just the way they are. And you're going to have people like me who watch the news and listen to that and just think, I don't trust you. I don't believe you. What the hell's really going on? I guess we'll see. Yeah. I don't know. What else do I have? We've got Pluto trining Uranus, making that aspect. So, I mean, how we're breaking down all of these crazy, social structures and world governments, foundations, all of that's shaking up. And it is showing you like how crazy the Uranus aspect is, where it's just wild. And that's, unpredictable and kind of like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Could have never predicted that. Because I don't know, when you think Uranus is going to ziggy zags, I don't know. It's just something he does. I've just been watching and I'm like, okay. But it's part of this little like mini grand trine they've got going on with, Saturn and Neptune at the apex of this. And it's just collective transformation. And it's just, you're along for the ride, guys. Let's hang in there. Everything's going to be okay, but it's going to be wild, and it is wild. Now, do I see World War III coming? If I sat down and meditated, it's a little scary, but in the stars, not so much. Maybe when Venus comes rolling through, and she kicks the door in Taurus, she might, have a little bit of an attitude, but I mean, I'm not quite positive, and I couldn't really tell you World War III is happening, but I hope to God it isn't. I don't want it to. I'm not particularly fond of all of the crazy world events going on, but I don't believe we're being told the truth about any of it anyway. So, yeah, I mean, how we think, what we believe, and how we communicate are like mental framework. It's all just swirling around right now. So it's a perfect opportunity to pick yourself up, brush yourself off and recalibrate. Make some decisions about what it is you want to do with your life, because this is it. Nobody's going to come live it for you. Nobody's going to come pick you up and brush you off and save you. Like this is about, choosing your life path and standing with it. Like making better choices, making different choices. I think one of the great things about this cycle, this lunar cycle, starting in Gemini and that Gemini Sagittarius axis. I mean, it is about like learning something new, because it is the perfect time to like start that new course or, learn more about that new cause you're behind. Or just, dig deeper into the headlines and figure it out, but, it is a great time to commit to something and learn something new and, discover new things. And, hopefully you discover new things about yourself and it changes the way you believe things and your own personal philosophies. There's always like potential for greatness in each lunar cycle. I always start out like, this is going to be great. And usually by full moon waning, I'm like, because I didn't do the freaking work. I'm as if I'm above it because I know what the energies are going to be like because I'm listening to everybody else talk about it. And I'm like, okay, I got this. Yeah, I'll watch out for that. I'll be fine. And like last cycle, I just was a mess. So not that I wasn't doing the work, obviously, but I don't know.
What does the work entail, would you say?
Well, what the work entails is like, and it's a great time to do this because Gemini does this as well, is to take a better look at your emotions. There are conflicts of emotion. We feel one way about something and then we tell ourselves, well, should I feel that way? Do I have enough, information about this? Like, do I act on this or do I not act on this, emotion, on this feeling that back and forth, so it's self-examination, examining, your thoughts, your feelings and what it is you think, because sometimes we think we know something and we're so dead set on it. And then we find out later that we didn't know shit and we weren't paying attention and we didn't take the advice we should have taken or, considered somebody else's opinion about, the situation or whatever. And I think it's just a perfect time to be patient, to, self-examine. And that's what that work is about, like not flying off the handle and just saying, this is the way it is. And this is how it is. And that's it. Because everything's changeable. Everything's flexible. We're not, nobody's ever really
Where's your Mars?
that stuck. My Mars is in Aries.
Okay.
Yeah.
You'd think I would remember.
No, that's all right. It's in Aries.
Yeah, I have a hard time remembering. So okay.
Yeah.
Mermaid's Wear Head says Pluto was an asshole to me. It's hard. It's a hard aspect to my moon, so I always feel that influence.
Sorry. Yeah, dude, I know. Pluto, one time I was paying attention to my Pluto aspects and and actually, you know what, I talked about it the last time. Like, I ran into every creepy old gross man I could possibly run into. Like, disgusting old man, no, plural. It wasn't just one. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I looked at my like transits and I was like, this has got to be some Pluto shit. This is just gonna be weird, gross Pluto stuff. So
I like.
Yeah, I got my eye on him too. Mermaids wear hats. I got my eye on that guy too. So,
Lady Spellbreaker 1313 says, looks like an ankh in a basket. Maybe greetings and happy healing Gemini new moon blessings to all of you beautiful souls. Yes. That's one of the things I didn't really talk about. Gemini is the constellation of internal healing. It's because it is so empathic. It's very much about the heart and going in and doing a lot of self-love, and it's got a lot to do with those higher emotions. So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I don't feel like Gemini is as detached, and I don't like that detachment, from emotions. Nobody is ever detached from their emotions. Now, can they categorize them, save them for later, deal with them later? I think I'm a Capricorn moon, so I kind of do that. I'm like, okay, now's not the time.
I don't think
but Gemini really
the
likes to. I think
Go
they
ahead,
like
go
to
ahead.
keep their emotions hidden, though. I think they don't necessarily want to, they're not as gushy and expressive as maybe Leo. But I think that the detachment.
Yeah, they're sensitive. They're
Yeah,
sensitive.
they're
for
sensitive,
sure.
but they'll keep it to themselves. They'll protect their feelings. They're not gonna, I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, yeah, I think
they tend to keep it secret, like not super secret, not like how Cancer is, but Gemini tends
Gemini,
to
Cancer, and Leo are all very, I would say, very protective. I think to an extent,
Yeah.
Virgo gets some of that too.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But I
Virgo
think those three
sometimes
are probably the most.
Virgo, it's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, well, Virgo's difficult for me sometimes to understand, I think. So I'm like, what is that? What is that?
It's because you
didn't
have
really
Virgo
say
trauma.
how you felt.
Virgo
You just
relationship trauma.
Yeah, I do. Well, yeah, the whole you just said what I wanted to hear. You didn't say what you really meant,
Hey,
as a trainer.
I have a ton of Virgo, and I don't have any of those issues. So
no, and I
don't
am
know that
so
we could,
grateful.
I don't
love
know
that you're like, no, this is how I feel. Like
yes.
you don't play around. It's not a game, and I love that. So I appreciate your Virgo. I love your Virgo placement.
Thanks,
actually,
Niki. I really appreciate that. Mermaids Wear Hat says it's raining old men, but I think she's singing it because in the next thing she put a bunch of songs. So it's raining old men. Hallelujah. It's raining old men. Heck yeah.
Yeah, these dudes, I swear to God, their Pluto is in Cancer. Like one guy is sitting there talking to me and he's drunk and he's like talking about how his wife's dying of cancer. And so when she dies, he'll be hitting me up. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. This is somebody please help me.
I'm sure there are plenty of older gentlemen out there who have their shit together and aren't hanging out, like drunk on the side of the street, wandering into your place of work. So we can't just group all men.
No, and it's not all, no. Oh God, no, it's not all
I know.
old men. Please don't.
I know.
Don't assume I'm saying all old men, but
right.
But that was just how that Pluto's weird. Sometimes it shows up as outside stuff and it's just like bizarre. And you're like, oh. I can see where that, I like Pluto too. Pluto's really helped. I've got a good aspect. Pluto's aspecting my moon. And I think Pluto can really help a person like become a bullshit detector. They can see through the facade, see through the manipulation. Pluto has a lot of positive qualities we don't really talk about, but that's just one of them that I've noticed with Pluto. Definitely amplifies like the, psychic energies and things of that nature. Noticed that with some people in their charts. I ask them about it, and it could be contributed to a Neptune placement as well, because I know Neptune's like the psychic planet, but I don't think any planet's really like this is the psychic one, and then this is the get laid one, and then this is the ego one. I mean, they do have their archetypes, but they're dynamic and diverse, and like you're always going to get communication out of Mercury, but yeah, I don't know, I lost my train of thought. Lost what I was trying to say, but.
Alice got stung by nettles, so if anybody out there has any solution to help with that other than vinegar, because I'm pretty sure vinegar is the only one that I know of. We have a ton of nettles here, like everywhere.
What are nettles?
Like stinging nettles.
It's pokey plants.
Well, yes, we call them pokey plants. No, they're nettle. It's like a You can eat them. You can blanch them, and
Oh,
they're
it's
like spinach.
Oh, it's a plant?
Yeah, you can make nettle soup
nettle
and
tea.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, nettle
You
tea.
said stop.
Nettle
I
tea.
was like, oh my God.
Nettle tea is an antihistamine, which anytime you're having some sort of allergic reaction, you could take that. It also works really good for PMS and cramps and just like, you know, those types of symptoms, which is fantastic. Because it is an antihistamine. It's like taking a mini Benadryl before sleep, so it can help with sleep. Like, it's fantastic. It is an amazing plant. But God help you if you walk into them, because it hurts for days. So in Michigan, we didn't really have any, at least where I lived. And I remember this one day I was pulling weeds out of my garden. I wrapped my hand around, just wasn't thinking. It felt like sticking your hand in a beehive. It's horrible. So after that, I never forgot what a nettle looked like because it was so traumatic. But we have them everywhere. This one time we went to this lake, which happened to be, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so the Kushtum nuclear disaster, or Kishtim, I'm not sure how you actually pronounce it now, was the third worst nuclear disaster after Fukushima and Chernobyl. But it happened not super far from where we live. And the radiation cloud that like was expelled from it happened to fall over this lake. Well, I didn't know that. And my husband took me swimming there like my very first year. I got this crazy bad sunburn, and I'm like, I wonder like what's going on here. But anyways,
sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
The lake has magical healing powers. It's called radiation, you guys. It's not. It's definitely not someplace you could swim. But anyways,
is it magical? Is there really magical like healing powers in a radiated?
I mean, they have a bunch of magical lakes and stuff here. Probably some of them are radioactive, and they swear that they have magical healing powers. So I'm not going to dispute it. I mean, somebody got healed from it, or else it wouldn't persist. But anyways, I had to pee really bad on the way home, leaving this radioactive lake. And I don't know if you've ever been in a Russian toilet outside of like a clean shopping mall somewhere. Not a good place to go to the bathroom ever, no matter what you have to do. You don't want to walk into that thing. So I'm like, all right, just take me to like a patch of woods. I'll be fine. I definitely squatted over nettles and just a swarm of mosquitoes, and everything hurt and itched for days. It was really terrible. So you gotta watch out. I think I fell backwards a little bit, and I just they hit you. It feels like bees. It's horrible. Nature's Place said they are a superfood, and seeds can be eaten so high in protein. Yeah, they're awesome. Like, they're great. You just don't want to touch them. I guess people do use them. They sting themselves on purpose for like the same way they do with bees. You know, like they'll for like arthritis and stuff. They'll get it like on the knuckle, and so there's like a therapeutic benefit if you like being stung by things, I guess. You know, you want to make out with a scorpion or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, everybody's got a kink, right? I mean,
yeah, like if you're into that. But yeah, they're like amazing. So just not fun to touch. So yeah, but vinegar will help like leach out some of the poison or whatever it is that makes you sting. The what?
I use the water.
Yeah, water doesn't work. It's like a jellyfish. When you pee on it, you know, like if you get stung by a jellyfish, then you can pee on it. So Nature's Place said iron in nettle has an affinity to our blood and doesn't need to go through the digestive system. It gets absorbed right away into the blood. It is a very nutritive nutritive food.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, for real.
I sometimes have low iron counts. I don't take supplements because the last time I tried, I don't know, they make my skin break out. Like, I get these big cystic, like hormonal acne bumps anytime I take any type of
Who knows where that stuff, what they really have in there?
No, they don't really
runoff.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me.
What?
So I tried some gluten-free noodles. Okay. And they were made out of like pea flour and cauliflower and they were actually good. and they didn't cause any inflammation, but it smelled like cauliflower fart. And I was like, I can't do it.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine what that would smell like.
I was like, I go to eat, and I'm like,
can't do it.
And I'm like, come on, God. Like, I've just been bitching at God so much. Can you eat
buckwheat? Try buckwheat.
No, I tried some buckwheat, and I got the same, like, inflammation.
Did you?
It was some organic stuff I bought at the.
Was it okay? But hold on. Was it like buckwheat in a like real buckwheat groats, or was it like some sort of buckwheat monstrosity processed bullshit?
Oh, it was it was all ground up. It was probably like some monstrosity.
Try buckwheat groats, like legit buckwheat.
Okay.
I will. So listen, if you need noodles, they make buckwheat noodles. It's called soba. Like if you've ever gone to a Japanese restaurant, they usually have it and stuff. They like you can get organic soba. It's legitimately just buckwheat. So I suspect that some of your issue, like I think you're eating, and I'm guessing, I don't know, I can only suppose, like the processed stuff. And because you're so sensitive, it might not be the buckwheat that's causing the reaction. It's probably the other, ingredients.
I was doing some more research, and I really think it's the pesticides they use. I really think that everything's just laced with pesticides, and
probably
I
think that's what's killing the bees over there too.
And we're just not that smart, apparently. Like, because it takes decades to change anything around here. I mean, just forever. They're like, oh, you're being poisoned. Oh, you're sick. Oh, we'll have to meet on that. And like nothing ever gets done. So, yeah. Well, I don't know. We've got some scary things going on here in the U.S. So.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Nature's Place says try an infusion of nettle, sourdough pasta, ? And yum soba. Heck yeah, yum soba. Yeah. Yes.
I'll try this. I'll try soba. I'm gonna write it down.
Just get the organic kind.
Don't forget. Okay. I will, because God, it was great eating spaghetti with noodles this time. Usually I'll like fry up potatoes, or I'll put it on like rice or something. But
can you eat soy sauce?
It can't have wheat in it. I have to get the wheat.
It shouldn't. Real soy sauce shouldn't.
Everything in my grocery stores has wheat, soy, whatever garbage they can put in it. And then they'll say it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free, it's all this shit. And in the back, it'll have a disclaimer, made in a facility that has milk, nuts, like wheat, and it could be contaminated.
Rats. Yeah.
So what's the freaking point of trying? Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Fingernails. I mean, great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I just, God, you guys, just eating has turned into like a strategic, like you have to plan just to eat. So
I really think a lot of that
issues are
comes
insane.
From that. What is your Vesta? I think we looked at it. Your Vesta's in Pisces up there, isn't it? I think that's part of it.
Yeah. She's actually a part of another yod this where is she? She's in Virgo right now. She just regressed back into Virgo and ended her retrograde. She recently ended her retrograde. So yeah. But she is a part of a bigger yod. Oh, I can't remember who else is a part of it though. It's like Uranus. I had my chart pulled up, but I can't remember. But yeah. My Vesta, she is, I don't know, is she holding me up, or is she the one beating me down?
I think that's part of the sensitivity, because I think a lot of your sensitivities aren't actually the food. I think it's the people making the food, the environment of the food. I think, and I'm not discounting the food. I think that it's a contributing factor is what I meant. But I do think, I know for a fact that like deep transcendental meditation will definitely help heal from some of those food sensitivities. But I mean, at a certain point, you probably can't eat like other people, but you don't really want to either. Most people are sick and dying from something.
Yeah,
slowly
they
because,
are.
you know,
I tell them that. I know this is what their problem is, and they look right at me and they're like, no, it's not. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're experiencing all of these joint issues, like you have lots of pain in your joints and stuff. When I quit eating eggs and dairy, all of that went away. Like my hands, I mean, I still have fibro flare-ups and I can't help that. I don't know where they come from, and I'll end up on the couch and I can't use my hands, but that's about it. Like it doesn't.
It could be in the water.
Like I'm just pouting.
I mean,
you know,
you absorb chemicals when you take a shower. You wash your hands. Like there's all kinds of stuff. So it's not just the food.
You're right.
I mean, it can be other environmental stuff too. Nature's Place said tamari is gluten-free soy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a food expert nutritionist. Nature's Place, come on the show.
Yeah.
Let's have. Why don't you email? Yeah. Email me SiderialAstrology@gmail. Or Niki Revolution Astrology @gmail, like one of us, like you can come on the show and tell us all about your cool information, because we're into that, so.
Yeah, because I found out, well, like 3 years ago, I changed everything, you know, my diet, all of it, and it's just been like a struggle. But you know, I don't want to eat like everybody else. I mean, I do. Oh, I do. Actually, I do.
You don't.
Come on, like
pizza
and burgers and fuck yeah. Oh my God. But I eat really well. I do. I eat really well. Like I made myself like barbecue ribs the other day, and I just ate them all by myself. It was,
it just sounded good.
Too much. It was so good. It was so good. Like I eat so well. Like I don't want to discount like how I eat, but like you smell that processed like fried food and you're like, oh, like I just drove by KFC the other day, or no, it was Popeyes. I was bringing my dad to Popeyes and he sat there and he ate it right in front of me. And I'm just like, I'm so hungry.
No,
but I wasn't. He got out of the car. I dropped him off and I was like, yeah, I'm not really hungry for that.
You know what?
I think about greasy fried chicken and I like want to puke. So
now I'm not an expert.
Smell. It's like the smell that gets to me. It's like my senses.
Yeah, I'm not an expert, but in my experience, food cravings of any kind are usually some sort of nutrient deficiency, or like Nature's Place just said, it's in the gut. There's something's wrong in the gut for sure.
Yeah.
And some of it too can be like the additives in the food that you do eat or you are exposed to can make you crave stuff that like there's like addictive things in there.
Yeah, sugar does that to me. Definitely. Sugar is not my friend. And I'm trying really, really hard to just keep on with like the natural sugars, like fruits and veggies that have those natural sugars in it versus like, you know, the gluten-free cookies, you know, chocolate chip cookies. You know, I did find some that don't like trigger my you know, my bullshit. So I was dipping them in. But you can only eat a few. You can't have like the whole box. Just got to eat a few. Like
of the cookies.
But I noticed, oh my God, they're good. They're okay. Like they're not my homemade cookies that I used to make, which were the best, but you know, whatever. I'll take what I can get at this point. Yeah. But no, gut health is totally real, because I noticed when I'm at my worst, and especially like my mental health is just in the shitter, it's usually because I ate something I shouldn't have, or, you know, I drank a soda for some reason, like, and anything like that, like corn syrup, you know, just anything that's just not good for you. It does end up triggering some kind of like, you know, bad attitude when I shouldn't have one. Or,
it completely affects your mood.
It did. It really, really does. And I'm at my best when I have a completely clean system, when everything is like completely reset. Even my mind, it's so sharp. It's like I am naturally like on Adderall when I am completely clean, completely like sober, all of it. Like I don't stop. I'm like this and I just keep going and it doesn't ever end. So
that's a good
place. That's why I like to chill out. That's why I like to That's why I like the job. I my other job that I have, because I'm like, oh, because I'm always here. Like, I don't know. My friend of mine, a childhood friend of mine, she likes to be up here. I don't. I was like, I'm already here. I'm actually way up here. I gotta chill out. So we have different lifestyle choices. But
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting to see that, because I'm like, oh wow, you have to like, I don't know, I have to chill out. I can't explore and like be pounding Red Bulls and all of that.
God,
Like, I love my
no.
caffeine, but I can't be like, no.
I drank
No.
half a Red Bull and I was having hallucinations. I had to leave. I was working a psychic fair. This is many years ago.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Dude,
I was so
speaking
tired.
in
I'm like, well,
tongues.
I'm gonna try this. No, I had to leave. I'm like, I don't know who I am or where I am, and I need to like
you
get
felt
home
sick
as soon as
too,
possible.
didn't you?
Yeah, I felt real sick. It was gross. So that was
I don't know what the
one and
hell they
done.
put in that stuff. It's just disgusting.
More industrial
absolutely
runoff, I'm
disgusting.
sure. Nature's Place says she's a Leo. No, I think, Nikki, you have Leo rising, right?
Yeah, I'm a Leo rising. Yeah. So Mars is going through my first house right now. And yeah, it's been actually pretty cool. I've been emotional, yeah, but I mean, who isn't? Who isn't going through some type of emotional?
I'm not.
I feel like I'm seeing, well, I had a lot of life changes recently.
Yes,
so, I
yes.
mean, the past 6 months have just been very, rough waters, and it's finally calmed down, and I'm finally like sailing, through it all. And it feels so, so good to just finally just feel better about all of it and everything and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't like emotions. I don't like having to deal with them. And I guess I just saved it all for that time to deal with, because ew, who wants to feel like that?
I went through that like 4-ish years ago where I'm like, okay, I've been suppressing all of these emotions because I don't want to feel them, for my entire life. Let's do it all. Let's get it all out now. And like it was good because it was like a 3-month period, but I was like sobbing every single day. I had to stop wearing mascara because I look like Alice Cooper every single day. And
oh my God. Yes.
I was meditating. So that's when the emotion came out, was during like meditations and stuff. So it ended up being good eventually. But like in the beginning, man, it was a lot of stuff. And it really is good to get rid of all of that stuff. I like spontaneously started healing all these illnesses and whatnot. And for real, meditation is like the greatest thing ever. I know not to go down like the religion or occult or ritual, that's what I'm looking for, the ritual rabbit hole. But whatever type of awesome shamanic experience you can have in an actual ritual, you bust out your robes, your candles, your incense, you do your chants or whatever, your grimorum, acronorum, or whatever you're looking at. Whatever you can do in those situations, nothing is as powerful as actually going internal and doing those rituals, because you can do things in that space in like a deep meditative state that you could never really do in real life. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not discounting the power of doing that stuff in real life too, because it is absolutely powerful. I'm just saying it's nothing compared to what you can do when you return to source. So
no, I agree with that, because I'm a bit of a ritualistic magician myself, but it is all here. Like when my circles are being, I don't do anything outside of myself. It's all in here. So
yeah, that's where the power is.
To that. Absolutely. And I used to really be obsessed with collecting all these grimoires and all these different magical books. And I couldn't even tell you why. I just would find them and I'll get all these rare books and collect them. And I'd like read them and I'd look at them and I'd be like, I don't know why. It's just like dead magic trails. And like, I'm just looking at all of these like I don't know. It wasn't it. It just wasn't it, but I eventually ended up selling it all to I think she was a Thelema, into Thelema.
Okay.
Yeah, I ended up selling all my books to her, and she was so happy. She found joy and love and all of that in those.
Good.
And I did. I was like, no, I like making up my own shit. I'm more of a chaos magician, I think. I mean, I just know what I'm connected to, and that's what I'm going to use,
Yeah.
I'm just not.
I'm with you.
And I think that other people, that do the outside rituals, like JD did one, and was a part of, actually he did two, and they were really good. They were really powerful. Like I watched his ritual, JD Temple, and I had just goosebumps all over my body the entire time. Like you could feel the power, you could feel what he was working with. And it was really good. It was like, oh, this is some, this guy knows what he's doing, and that's rare for me. Like it, I pick up on that stuff, and that's rare for me to find somebody that's like, oh, wow, this is actually working and good and cool. You don't get
I would imagine that he's
anything.
Simultaneously doing the internal stuff
channeling
at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I thought anyway. Yeah. I mean, I'm not knocking outside stuff, but my most powerful work is always done up here.
Yeah, for sure. Me neither. It definitely works. It absolutely works. But I'm just saying, like the really deep, transformative, mind-blowing stuff. Well, you'll hit it deeper from the inside. It sounded strange. Nature's Place said some people I know do psychedelic assisted therapy annually to help get into the depths of their unconscious mind and clean out. A bit traumatic for some, but helps them. Yeah, absolutely. I've done my share of psychedelics. I won't do ayahuasca because I guess it makes you vomit, and I'm not into that. That's like my least favorite thing to do. So
they all make me vomit. So,
but I do think
even
that, I think they're, I don't know. I think it's good. It gives you a frame of reference too. So when you are in a transcendental state, like you're recognizing some of the different things that are occurring, and I think it's good. I think, I think psychedelics generally are good.
Yeah.
I give them the Abbey seal of approval, like within reason.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to like
trip
out.
You don't need to eat like
every
4
day.
tabs of acid. No, I didn't actually like acid like as much as I thought I did. And then when I tried mushrooms, I was like, well, this is way better. I did, acid was okay, but oh my God.
I loved acid.
I loved psilocybin so much better. Like the visuals, like
didn't last as long.
Oh, it did. Oh man, I don't know. I could hear like the people on the other side of the veil freaking out about what was happening to me, and they were like, "Was she gonna see us?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck is that?" And I'm having this experience, and I can hear them talking about me, and it was like I could remember it, but I kept like getting like this weird like cover, like this spell, like they're trying to get me to not see, not know, not like amnesia.
I get that.
Like it was weird amnesia doses, and I'm like this, and it freaked me out. I was like probably 14, just eyes this black, just freaking out. Like,
anytime that
am I schizophrenic?
Anytime I smoked weed, I felt like the weed was alive with the spirit of the weed. And it would tell me secrets, but it didn't want me to share the secrets. And anytime I tried to because that's my whole thing. Anytime I took any type of drugs, I'm like, okay, where am I? Like, what can I learn? What secrets of the universe can I discover right now? That's definitely not what everyone else was doing when they were on the drugs, but that's what I was doing. So like my whole thing, I'm like, even if I'm just going to okay, I'm going to hit this bowl and then I'm going to sit and watch SpongeBob or something. I still am like, okay, what secrets can I get from this whole experience? And it was this weird sensation. Like, yeah, I'm going to tell you these secrets, but you can't take them out of this state. You're not allowed to. And it was really weird, but, and I tried a bunch of times and I felt weird. Like I was going to get in trouble. But weed makes me really paranoid anyways. I told you I was thinking
Yeah,
feds are
it
coming.
has
My
that
house is gonna
effect.
start
Yeah.
on fire,
Feds
and
are coming.
like the knives are gonna magically jump out of the drawer and start stabbing people. Like weird
Oh,
stuff. It's definitely not for everybody.
yeah.
But I'll
Yeah.
eat the acid.
Yeah.
I sure will.
See, I wouldn't see those. The acid trips lasted way too long. And
Yeah,
it's
like
I
3
just hated
days.
seeing
Like
through everything.
one gel
Yeah.
tab is 3 days of tripping, which I mean, why, if you're gonna trip, like let's do it. Let's see what we can
Oh.
find out. But,
Yeah, I always would go to town and I'd have to have like 3 or 4.
oh God, no.
I'm like, I want to see
Terrifying.
God. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, now I would be terrified though. I would be terrified to trip that hard, and like, especially knowing what I know now, I'd be like, oh great, you're gonna take me on an internal journey, aren't we? And I'm gonna have to look at all the ugly stuff. And I know, I just don't want to.
No, that's not what? No, that's no fun. I only had one bad trip, and I did go to hell, and it sucked. It was horrible. It was 3 days of literal hell. We were listening to Enya because my cousin got tired of babysitting. No, listen. And like Satan was talking through the whole Enya record. It was that one that came out, Memory of Trees. It's just like, it's just Enya, and she's just pretty for like 2 hours. And like Satan's like, like the walls are bleeding. It was one of those trips. And you can't stop smiling. You get the permagrin on the acid. You're just like, and like you're miserable inside. But yeah, it was a rough night or two.
Yeah, the last 2 times so my acid experiences were great in the beginning, and then they degraded over time.
The acid degraded over time. That's what happened.
Yeah. And it just got to the point where I remember it's like I was with all of my friends, all of these people, and it just occurred to me that I'm never going to see any of these people again after the next 6 months. This was just another learning thing. I felt like I was losing my family, and then like I ended up moving away. I ended up like I had all this weird stuff. So I mean, I would get a lot of information actually that I probably didn't know what to do with. I mean, I was so young. I mean, I just kind of didn't know I was looking out into what was going to happen next, but it freaked me out a lot, and I didn't know how to handle it. But after, some time, I realized what it was, because I was like, oh, I thought this was an acid trip. I already saw this happen. Oh, wow, this is weird. But they, my guides they would talk to me. They're like, look, this isn't a good situation. Like, these aren't good people for you.
That's probably good advice.
This is it.
Yeah.
Oh, totally. Because I was not in a good spot. I didn't have good people around me.
Do you know?
Somebody tried to kill me, I was like, so yeah, like we get like, it got weird. It got really shitty and weird. So I was like, oh, all right. But like, I don't know. I just have this like toxic attachment to shitty people, I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm working with here, but yeah, I was like, oh, but these are my family. These are the people I remember. I know I used to take care of them. Like I just had these like weird thoughts, like past life stuff, but that didn't occur to me until a lot later in life when I got to go back and kind of re-examine like past relationships and all of that stuff and past connections. 'Cause I don't know. Now I think like look back and I think, and I'm like, oh, I wonder like how many people I had past life, connections with, or was it imaginary? I don't know.
Mermaids Wear Hats says, I'd end up like the kid who thought he was a glass of orange juice for the rest of his life after doing acid.
No.
Is that real? Is that a real thing?
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, you'd be the sweetest. So
I know a lot of people.
Orange juice is great.
Who drink mushroom tea and then thought they were dead. A lot of people. Too many people thought they were dead after drinking mushroom tea. So I never drink mushroom tea just for that reason. Like,
I don't know. I'm always like, I don't know. I've been obsessed with death ever since I was a kid, and it creeps a lot of people out because they're like, "Ew, you're dark."
I was
and weird. And I'm like,
I was super into that too.
I'm just, yeah. And
I'm
still kind of into it.
I thought a lot about that as an adult, like, and watching Alice. She's really into vampires, which obviously you are. But like I was too when like I watched Dracula as a kid. I'm like, this is the coolest fucking thing ever. Like there's
I
and I don't
know.
know why.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. That one with Gary
So
Oldman, right? Oh,
yeah,
he did
yeah.
a
Oh, that's
really
the
good
best one.
job in that
It
movie.
really
Yes.
follows the book very well, except there wasn't this whole romance between Dracula and Mina, but otherwise it's very close to the book. It's great. But anyways, some of it I wondered, is it because like is it some subconscious fear of loss, and so you like you like force yourself to confront death at all times, and so you like surround yourself with it, or is it more of, see, and my thing was like the dead people were way cooler to talk to than the alive people, like I'm like, and so I don't know if some of it was that too. And so if you have like even from a little kid, man, like somewhere between 4 to 6, I already noticed it, so like even in that space of like you just have a different take on death and you're not maybe afraid of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's I still don't understand it, but I wonder about that sometimes. I wonder about like like the goth kids. I was, despite what anybody thought, I don't know why, maybe I was too pale or my eyeliner was too dark. Everybody thought I was like into like goth stuff, and I definitely wasn't. But I don't know too. Is it like, are you just trying to get out of here? Is there like some connection to the other side because you just hate it here so bad? Like there's a lot of there's probably some deep psychology to it. But I do think part of it was like the dead people were cooler than the alive people that I knew. They kind of sucked.
Well, I know over there, like you're just more free to go wherever you want,
Where?
Like flipping the channel.
Oh, I thought you meant Russia.
Other side, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the other side, you're
there's a freedom element to it, eh?
Yeah, you're not trapped in a body. You're not like trapped in a vibe that's like, holy shit, what is this? Like I'd rather go back. But I don't know. I still get like, I'd go home. But, part of me is like, oh, it's not time, but,
no, it's not.
See what happens next.
It only gets better. I think it only gets better. Mermaids Wears Hat says, was that when you were hanging out with the bikers? I'm going to assume that it was, but I'll let you answer that in a second. Nature's Place says, start small doses, everyone. Everyone is so different. Yes, people's body chemistry is so different. Mermaids Wear Hats is probably an urban legend, but it worked to keep me the hell away from acid. Oh, the orange juice kid. Yeah. Probably.
Yeah, that's actually around the time I was hanging out with bikers, but they weren't giving me acid. They were just giving me weed.
Okay.
And alcohol. So they kept all the good acid for themselves. Actually,
the first time I smoked weed ever, I was 18. Okay, I know I was like way late to the party. Okay, literally.
No. Yeah.
I didn't even smoke it. I would, because I'm like, no, I'm never gonna do this. I'm never ever, because I didn't want to be like all those idiots at like from school. Like I just didn't want to be like them. I got talking to like. It was like me and my cousin and her boyfriend, and he shotgunned to me. So then technically, like it's a technicality. I'm not technically smoking it. I got so high that I was afraid. But we were watching Monty Python, The Holy Grail, like the funniest 2 hours of my life. I laughed so hard. I thought like I like peed my pants, like the whole thing. Like it was so terrifying. It was, it was fun, but definitely not something that it's hard to get secrets of the universe when you're watching Monty Python. It's really hard.
Yeah. That's like the best.
I don't know. To each his own. That's the thing too. Like Nature's Place said, like people's diets. There's so much nonsense on the internet in particular. There's great stuff out there too, but like there's no one size fits all. Like people's bodies are so different and the mind is so different too. And like, different things will affect people. Or like their mental stamina just doesn't allow things to impact them the way it might others. And, there's no one size fits all. Although I do think that carnivore is like the greatest detox diet ever.
I agree. So. I agree. I've been just spending a lot of my time just eating meat. That's it. And I've bounced back. I'm doing so much better. You know, I'll make like root soup, you know, like veggie soups and stuff like that. But most of the time it's just like chicken, a little bit of, you know, maybe rice, just a little carbs. And that's about it. I don't know. It does change everything. Yeah. It sucks being a stoner when you can't eat all the, you know, cool food, like, you know, putting peanut butter on Pop-Tarts and making little like sandwiches out of whatever.
Oh God.
Oh, I know. Oh, it's so good. I know there's just so many. They're gross. I know. Now I would never touch a Pop-Tart. I would Frisbee them, you know, but I like, no, but yeah. So
listen
quite a bit on my smoking because
I ordered some Pop-Tarts here, like real Pop-Tarts from America or probably Germany or something. They were really expensive. You get exactly 2 in the pack, but it was like this novelty thing because they don't have those here. And I'm like, oh my God, like Pop-Tarts, you know, like I wanted my family to try them. Alice was like, no, this is disgusting. I'm not like eating this. I think Andre kind of ate it, but he'll pretty much eat anything. But you know what's funny? When I came here, I probably told this story before. They don't have like peanut butter and jelly. Like they have peanut butter in specialty stores and they have jelly, but like they've never thought to combine them and like put them on a sandwich. So I made one for my husband and he's like, this is really gross. Do I have to eat this? I'm like, it's a fucking peanut butter jelly. It's like one of the greatest things ever put on earth, you know? He's like, no, this is gross.
I would probably, I would probably give up this pinky right here to be able to eat at least those. Like, take it. You don't even have to knock me out. Like, I would love PB&Js.
Yeah. Yeah, with a glass of milk. Oh, that's like one of the greatest things ever. Yes.
Oh God.
Last night, Alice, we had like movie night or whatever, and Alice is like, can I have this ice cream that's in the fridge? I got it when I was on my period because, you know, I don't normally eat it, but like it was one of those things. It was like what was it? A Snickers or something, and it had peanut butter in it. And I didn't know. I thought she was eating a different kind. She's like, what? This is gross. I can't eat this. What's going on? I figured it out. There's peanut butter inside. And she like doesn't know what that taste is. And she thinks it's nasty. She's like peanut butter, like actual peanut butter. So it's weird. People have different tastes.
I love peanut butter. I buy organic peanut butter and I like eat it out of the jar and I put it on like bananas. I put it on my apples. Like,
I'm surprised you can eat it with all your sensitivities.
I'm surprised too. Actually, you know what happened after COVID? I became allergic to peanut butter and I would get all red and I would.
Did you get the shot?
Asphyxiate. No. Okay. I just had COVID. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I had all these weird sensitivity issues. And then I didn't know around the time I was actually having sensitivity issues around like gluten and wheat and all of the other things. But I like forced myself to eat it because I'm like, I love this shit. There's no way I'm giving this up. And like eventually I stopped having reactions to it.
Yeah. That's why I won't stop drinking milk. So I love milk. I love it. Like just I'd make the you know, drinking it right from the source, but that's a bad gesture to put on the internet because it could get clipped and God knows what somebody will catch in that. But I love milk. Like I would drink milk every day, all day. And I basically do. But there's supposedly like only 3% of people actually digest milk. I promise you I digest it just fine. But if you stop drinking it for a while, like there's a chance that you can lose that whatever the adaptation is to it. And I think it kind of goes both ways. Like you can probably like you just said, like the peanut butter, you can probably be like, no, I'm eating this peanut butter and it's not going to affect me. I'm not going to let it.
Yeah.
And then, hey, you know, it doesn't.
So good. I was like kind of like when I found out I was allergic to cats, you know, and then because we hadn't had a cat in forever. Oh no, I was like, that's it. Right? I guess I'll just gonna have to deal with this. And I did until it just stopped like eyes itching and watering.
Stop being allergic to it.
Yeah. Eventually I got used to it. I was like, no, I'm not getting rid of my cat. I love my cat.
Yeah.
I don't
not
care if
gonna
it
rid of the cat
hurts.
either. I think about that sometimes. Like if I had a cat allergy, too bad. I guess I'll just have blurry
Yep.
eyes and
I
I'll
guess
just
I'll
be
just
uncomfortable all the
suffer.
time. Yeah.
Well, I was gonna get some eggs and test that out, but I actually asphyxiate with eggs. Like my throat will actually start closing up, and
But here
I do have some Benadryl, so I thought I would try it.
This makes me
But
wonder
I don't
about
know.
the
I
milk.
love eggs.
About the milk and the eggs. It might not be the milk or the eggs. It could be the antibiotics that they put in the cows, the antibiotics or hormones. But for the eggs, it's going to be more antibiotics. They put it right in the feed. As a matter of fact, to get chicken feed without antibiotics is next to impossible. Like it's so expensive and like it's nowhere. You really have to struggle to find it. So they feed the chickens. It might not be the eggs, is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yeah, you're right. I do eat a lot of chicken though. Not a lot.
Even free range, like farmers market chickens, like they have their own chickens. I guarantee you, like even if they're organic, they're not. Like they're still giving them
because my sister gave me some organic eggs, like came from like they're even like green, they're all different colors. And she's like, try one out, and I'm scared. I'm like scared. I'm like, what if I eat it and I choke to death on my floor?
You got to do the skin test. You got to rub it on the skin first.
Oh, is that how we do it? Okay. Yeah.
Nature's Place says fertilized eggs are better digested by most people. Yeah. That's true. People get freaked out because sometimes you get it looks like a little tiny chicken fetus is starting to grow, and that freaks people out. There's like a little red speck or something in there. But yeah, nature's got the answers, you guys.
Yeah, come on the show. Let's talk about it, because chickens that live with a rooster. Ooh. Yep. Yeah. Hell yeah. Yep. I wish I had a bigger space. I wish I could keep my own chickens, because I love those ladies, man. They have attitude. They just walk around like this.
They look like little dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They run like little dinosaurs.
I just think they're so funny. They're so cute.
And they'll eat anything.
Yeah, they're dirty.
Zygo,
like you can't cuddle with them. Like there's no snuggle cuddle.
You can, but I mean, if you're like a dirty savage, but I mean,
I'm not into the
so it doesn't.
I could never catch one to hug one though.
You don't gotta sleep with them. I had this rooster, and I don't know. He was what did we call him? I think we called him. That wasn't Jimmy. I forget his name. We've had so many birds and ducks and chickens or whatever. But anyways, I had this window in my kitchen, and it was not real big. It's like a small window, but I would leave it open at night for the cats to come in and out. And sometimes a raccoon would come in, so we would have to shoo it out or whatever. But anyways, my rooster figured out that he could get inside the house, and we'd come in the like kitchen in the morning, and he'd crow at like 3:00 in the morning, so you'd have to keep kicking him out. But sometimes he would be in there like when he woke up and like nesting in the sink. Like he thought that was his spot, but he was so sweet. He was the nicest rooster. The other roosters were all assholes. They were dinner roosters eventually, because I don't know if you've ever been attacked by a rooster. It hurt so bad. I was walking to the barn this one day. It felt like I didn't know what hit me. It felt like somebody hit me in the knee with a baseball bat. I looked down, it's this rooster. Oh, he was dinner not too many days later. And he was so
good. You're like, you little SOB. Yeah, my cat's got a mighty swing on him. He's been so upset with me lately about not letting him outside. And like he whopped me the other day. Like whopped my leg, and I couldn't believe it was him. I was like, holy shit, dude. Like, what am I feeding you? You're like strong. That hurt. Like hit my shin.
He's like 20 pounds. I mean, he's got some weight behind him.
Yeah, he does. He keeps like laying in the spot I usually sit in and type. So he's like, no, love me. I'm going to let him outside today. So at the house, when we all lived together, everybody just worshipped this cat. Okay. My kids were just all about him. So we talk him up a lot, give him lots of nummies. He was a Shiba boy. He just switched to Fancy Feast. Now he's a Fancy Feast boy.
I gotcha.
So he's a designer cat, I think. I don't
Okay.
know. He's a designer brand cat. He likes to be coddled. He likes attention. He's a bit dramatic.
Okay.
You can't leave him alone too long. He's got a personality.
He's real needy.
Just like a person. Yeah, sort of. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah. He knows I'm talking about him right now. I don't want him to get mad at me.
They know. They definitely know.
Stop looking at me.
Mermaid's Forehead says, I've got 5 chickens out back. They do look like little dinosaurs. They do. They look run just like dinosaurs. I know you couldn't see me doing that just now, but they do. And she said, we've had to kill 2 aggressive roosters so far. I cried both times. Yeah. It sucks.
Aww.
There's certain ones I think, I don't know, maybe it's rooster to rooster, but like, I think some breed of chickens, their roosters are less aggressive. So, but apparently you get more eggs if you have a rooster, and they do protect the chickens too, the hens.
Yeah, because the ladies are like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at that. Just saw a video of a rooster this morning. He's like pounding his feet like against the ground. He was so cute. I was like, oh, it'd be cute to have one of those. And
not a rooster.
When you guys are talking about it, I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, you don't want a rooster. They are so loud. I don't know if you've ever had a rooster crow right next to your face. Okay. Like, it's super loud. And they don't just wait until it's like the sun's rising and it's morning time. They'll start crowing at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Like, they don't care. Like, they'll do what they want. So fun times on the farm. Yes.
I always wanted to live on a farm, but I realized I'm probably not the best homestead person. You know, I had to take care of the house that I lived in before. Like, it was all me doing the yard, fixing everything. Like, I was the man.
It's a lot.
And I drive by that place now and I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I never have to do the lawn again. Oh, I'm so glad I don't have to clean anything there ever again.
Yep. Like, fixing fences. Yep.
I like renting. I like my little renting world right now. I guess if I had help, you know, if people were like interested in helping out, but even
I think farms,
like, no, that's your yard.
That's like a family thing. Like that's why you got to have like 20 kids and be really into the Bible so that we'll all make sure that they do their work and stuff. There's this family that, they moved here from Canada. And it was so Russia's got this program where they'll like give you a bunch of land if you want to settle it, basically. And but they moved over here, and I don't think they spoke any Russian or anything, but they basically, like, their whole family homeschools, and they do Bible study, the whole 9. But they like run this big giant farm now. They got a YouTube channel. It's really cool, but they built their own house, built their own barn. And it's really cool. Like, it's great if you can do something like that. But, and I mean, that's how basically America was founded. Like, they, you know, went out and settled the West and everything, but they also had like a ton of kids, you know? It's really hard. Even if you have people have these giant houses and they're like, oh, wouldn't it be great to live in the house? I'm like, do you know how friggin' long it would take to dust that house? Like, oh my God. Like, are you thinking about, like, this is just, those are 12 rooms that you're just going to accumulate a bunch of stuff that you don't need. And like, they don't think about that. I don't know. Like, I just.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I would look at big houses and I just think, I can't afford a housekeeper. Like, I would have to clean.
I wouldn't even want somebody having to like go through my stuff. Like, I can afford a housekeeper now, and like, they don't clean it. They don't do it right. They don't do it how you want. We tried that, and I'm like, I'll just do it myself. But like, if you have like a ton of kids, I can see it, but I don't know. That goes back to like the consumerism thing, and people there's nothing wrong with wanting to live in a nice space and have cool stuff.
Oh, yeah. But I don't know.
Yeah. Like, some of it, I just don't get it. I'm not knocking it. If it makes somebody happy, that's fine. But I don't know.
Me personally, I think about the property taxes that I would have to pay to have a nice, like, big house, and
the water bill.
You can own your house, but you're still going to have to always pay that big property tax bill at the end of the year. Yeah, your water bill, your light bill. Try heating it. Oh, you've got ceilings in every room. Yeah. Like, I see that, and I'm like, oh, my heat bill. Like, oh
It's not even the heat bill. It's not efficient. No. When you have like those big ceilings, like that's just science. It doesn't have anything to do with the money. It's like literally you're not heating your house, you're heating your ceiling. I don't know. I don't understand it. I do have a idea. I want like a Roman villa with like the atrium in the middle of the house, you know. I might do that at some point. But right now, I really love living in the city. But we live in like a giant city, and I live close downtown, and it's just gorgeous. Like everything here is gorgeous. If you guys are interested,
you're close to everything.
Everything, which is really nice. But also like I couldn't do it in America. The cities suck in America. It's like, I don't know. It's a different vibe. So I don't know. I don't want to. It's not really comparable at all.
It's not really affordable right now in America. Like nobody's really buying houses right now. If they are, they're pretty well off, or they pulled some strings or are borrowing against a 401k. I mean, I haven't been paying much attention to the real estate, but I would have guessed it would have bombed out again here by now. But
it's everything in like the United States economy is still in flux right now. So it can go in a bunch of different directions.
That's the best way to put it.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. In a few years though, it will lighten up and there will be, a better time to buy property, but it's not stopping people. There's lots of people who are still buying property.
For sure.
Kind of stuff.
Mermaids Wear Hats says my great grandpa and grandma came over to Eastern Montana from Norway and had a big old farm and 6 kids. That's right. Yeah, you got to have all those kids be doing all the chores and stuff. It's a lot of work. Which is fine. I'm good on the 1 kid right now. So I think. And plus, like, as in over the last century, people have found that your kids don't necessarily want to take over the farm for you as soon as they get old enough. They want to get out. So like that's why like the farms are dying in a lot of places and being replaced by factory farming, which is another horrible situation.
I watched a documentary on that, and me and my daughter were like, let's not eat meat anymore.
Well, it's not, but it's not just
like 3 days, and I was like, no, I'm gonna make a big pork roast. And I don't remember what I made. I was like, I gotta eat something.
It's not even just the meat. It's the like even the factory farming of plants is horrific. Like it's so disgusting and just so toxic. And maybe one day here soon, hopefully in my lifetime, I think it'd be cool to see. We'll get the free energy stuff going. Maybe there will be some form of peaceful revolution. Okay, right? If we can manage a peaceful revolution and people will just quit putting up with corruption left and right, because all the power lies with the taxpayer, essentially. Everybody quits paying their taxes to the corrupt government. They can't do anything anymore. So,
they're really, it's getting really weird here. We have recently seen ICE agents in my town just pulling over people. Like they had a van pulled over on one of the busier streets, and they were just arresting these folks. And I'm like, it looks like a family, but were they here legally, illegal? I don't care. It's kind of weird. You're just picking people up. We don't know what's happening to them. So I don't know. It's getting a little funky out there, but maybe I'm just not paying attention. Maybe these folks are being treated very well when they're detained. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm an immigrant in my country. I live in Russia. If you guys are watching, you don't know. I immigrated to Russia. So I went through an 8-year process to be able to get citizenship here. And I can't imagine the hell that I would have gone through if I'd have been in the country without like the proper documentation. I wouldn't even like take a chance on something like that. That's crazy to me. Like I can't even wrap my brain around that. So I don't know. The immigration thing is I don't know where people fall on
It
the
is,
spectrum,
yeah, it is what it is. I mean, it's not an issue that I've ever followed or like know too much about. I just know that I love all my Spanish clients. And all my,
Sure, yeah,
they're
absolutely.
awesome. And I don't care if you're here legally or not. I do a lot of illegal shit every day on purpose, just because.
We probably all do. They make people criminals,
Yeah.
They make us
Yeah.
all
And
criminals.
well, the laws are really stupid. Like there's like really a lot of little stupid laws that are set up that only benefit people in power, and they don't benefit the people who like, I don't know. It just seems like it's become more of a rulership than a democracy.
Oh, it's not a democracy. No, it's not a democracy.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a democracy since they at least since they shot JFK. That was basically when,
oh my God, that's what and they even came out and they like released the paperwork and they're like, yeah, we did it. So what? And it was
right,
like,
oh,
okay.
What are you gonna do about it?
Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? I guess nothing, because nobody cares and everybody's dead now, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. My dad used to sit and my dad was such a bad alcoholic growing up. He would sit there and drink and then just talk politics and talk about like the world and how everything got fucked up when they killed JFK and who was behind it. He always wanted to know. And so I asked him like, well, what do you think about this now that you know it was your own government who did it? Because he's a big Trump supporter, Republican, and he's just like, but he wasn't back then. He was more Democratic, but
sure,
yeah, even he didn't have anything to say. Even he was like, well, I guess it's just, the way it is. And they shouldn't have done that. But Trump's going to fix it all. And he's hypnotized and he thinks that, so there's somebody coming to save you. And like, I don't know, that mentality I've just always been very weary of. If I've ever picked up anything good from, the Christian faith, it was just don't trust anybody who comes and says that they're here to save you because they're probably the Antichrist, but it could be Jesus. We don't know, So I'm like, okay, trust nobody, but give you all my money.
Well, that's a good rule of thumb. Yeah. Just be skeptical. Nature's Place says, I have a homestead where we grow 80% of our food, but my Mars and Venus are conjoined at my rising. So determined. What's your rising sign? That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Also, what do you have going on in Virgo and Capricorn, if anything? I'd be interested to see that too. Yeah, definitely. Awesome. I think, not to go down the political rabbit hole, but I know a lot of people in the MAGA movement, and at least half of them are furious right now with Donald Trump. So I suspect that a lot of people are, because they really did. I mean, he's a great salesman, clearly, and they really believed a lot of the stuff he said he was going to do, and he's not done it, and has actually gone against some of those things. And like I would imagine those people are really getting what's that called? Red pills, black pills? Well, black pills when you go like everything's bad and nothing. Like,
I don't know. They're like, oh, you mean we were lied to? Like some of us kind of already knew, but I don't know.
Libra, you're okay. So interesting. Yeah. What side of Libra? How close to Spica? Do you know? Because some of Libra is actually Virgo. And Scorpio, depending on what side. Mermaids Wear Headsets sounds like my dad. Yeah, those are Fox News dads, I think, is what we call those.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love having arguments with my dad about stuff. I literally will scream at him because I'm not afraid of him. Like my like everybody's afraid of. I'm not. I'm like, I'll tell you exactly what I think, Mr. Tim. Like, and I will go off. And then he'll always be like, wow, you're right. So I'm like, dude, it's a feudal lord system. The kingship bullshit never ended. And we're all still the peasants, just so happy you're giving us this tech. Just so happy you're like giving us just enough to not over fucking throw you. Thanks. Like, we're so grateful thanks for keeping us sick and tired. Like, you remember the whole let them eat bread? Yeah. Yeah, I remember that little saying, kings and you just can't trust people in authority because that's what they do with it, you know? And besides, you look at Trump's chart and this guy's like on a special mission. Absolutely. There's some special like little thing he's supposed to be doing here, special little mission. And, you know, I guess we'll watch this unfold and see what the hell it's about. But like, I don't trust him. Like, obviously he can read you. He can read your like emotions. He knows when he's around you, what you need from him. There's like,
who are you talking about? Your dad or
the
Trump?
right thing. Trump. I'm talking about
okay.
Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. I was gone for a second. I crashed my video card.
Oh no, that's what happened.
I'm back.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I was just bitching, actually.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't really making a whole lot of sense. But no, I mean, this guy can hypnotize crowds. He can definitely like tell you what you want to hear because he knows what you want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, he's not stupid.
Yeah, he's an entertainer. We looked at his chart. I'd actually, that'd probably make a good video. I bet a lot of people would be interested to see that Donald Trump is not the monster that everybody thinks he is, although he definitely has, to look at his chart, I'm not going to try to pull it up because I'll crash my card again. And we're only going to be on a few more minutes. But he really, really, really wants people to love him. That seems to be his driving motivation, according to his chart. So it's not like he's just this, you know, like super monster or, you know, like he just really wants to be loved and he's really, really sensitive. So that's where a lot of his lashing and stuff, but it's right in his chart. It's right in there. Nature's Place says right where my Virgo and Libra meets sits my Venus and Mars at the same degree. That sounds like it's probably actually in Virgo. I don't know for sure. It depends on like what, I don't know if you're doing constellational, if you're doing a 30 degree, but the Virgo energy for sure is like that connection to nature and like the land and all that stuff. So that's very interesting. Mermaids Wear Hat says animals. He's ushering in the technocracy. Yeah, that's been coming up for a while, but he definitely is. Oh yeah. Look, they're all slaves to their donors, and I don't know why, because he's not running again. So like I don't know why he doesn't go in there and but from what I understand, and up until the last 2 weeks when I have completely checked out, I'm actually very well versed in global politics. It's when everybody else is like watching like cool astrology videos, I'm actually learning about world history and all this like super dorky stuff. But anyways, he has a lot of advisors and he listens to them all and they don't agree with each other. So he never makes any clear decisions. He's always waffling back and forth because he wants to make everybody happy because again, he wants everybody to love him. And so he ends up being a very weak leader and not just doing the stuff that I think that he wants to do. Like a good example is the whole war with Ukraine. He said, I'm going to end the war in 24 hours. That was doable. That was 100% doable. All you had to do was stop arming Ukraine and be like, okay, we're done now. And he just couldn't do it because he's got these neocon advisors that are like, no, like you'll look weak. Russia's our enemy and blah, 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 whatever. Like, so he can't make clear decisions, even though, like his vice president and one of his best friends is telling him like, no, like you have to stop doing this. He just can't make a decision because he cares too much. He wants everybody to love him.
He recently did make a decision on that though, because they are all meeting at NATO and he's like avoiding Zelensky super duper hard. And Zelensky's been asking everybody else for money to like fuel this war. And I don't think we're giving them any more money. I don't know. There's a lot of backdoor deals I don't know about.
He can change. Yeah, but he can change it tomorrow if that's what he's doing, and I doubt it. Basically, what happens is the money, the funding is running out this summer, and so if he really doesn't want to give them any more, he's going to get that pressure. But he goes back and forth, and it sucks too because like Russia.
Well, you can't trust anything he says. I mean, no. He didn't even go in front of Congress yet to tell him that we bombed Iran. He hasn't even talked to anybody else yet. He just went ahead and did that. That was just his own. I know. And like, and he's hiding like shit. There's just stuff that is being hidden and it's not like fully out there in the open. It's not transparent. It's just really, really weird. And now they're just like, oh, there's a ceasefire and he's this big like peacemaker. And they're even talking like, what is that, Nobel Peace Prize for him? I'm like,
yeah, so you're gonna bomb somebody and then be like, okay, now let's make a deal. Now I'm like the peacemaker. Yeah, but you also started the bombing, so yeah.
He lied to them and he's like, oh, well, give me 2 weeks to think about it. And he waited 2 days and then bombed them. So they're like, yeah, they're going to be like, yeah, we agree with your ceasefire. We agree we aren't going to do like retaliate. And like, you'd think that, I don't know what the hell.
Iran's been 20 minutes from having a nuclear bomb since 1992. Like, I'm so sure. Like, come on, you guys. This is the whole thing that got, like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the classic weapons of mass destruction excuse.
Yep, it's exactly
saving the world. It's just like every other politician that steps up and says, I'm going to save all the jobs. Okay, sure you are.
Right.
Yeah, just like Donald's going to save the world. Like, whatever, bro, whatever. I'm not into it.
You can't vote your way out of tyranny.
No.
Right. Mermaids Wear Hats says, I mean, he's just a figurehead puppet, but he is a Trojan horse. Yeah, he's definitely being puppeted around. Nature's Play says, if I was born 4 minutes from 5 a.m., I'd be Virgo rising. See, if you're on the cusp, so I personally don't get hung up on the degrees. I suspect you're pretty close to Spica and you're probably actually Virgo rising. I'd have to see your chart, though. My mother could have been wrong. I was OP presentation. Am I reading that right? OP presentation at birth. I don't know what that means, but yeah. I might be dumb. So could have took my first breath before it was delivered. I think you might be Virgo rising. I think that's what might be going on. Mermaids Wears Hat says it's so absolutely batshit right now. Yeah. And again, not so much for me because I'm checked out and it's great. Wherever I'm at right now, you guys, it's great. You guys gotta take some of this, okay? Whatever I'm smoking over here, you guys definitely want some because it's awesome, and I don't really have to deal with any of that other stuff.
I tried to meditate, and I was not meditating. I don't know what was going on, but I couldn't even ground. I couldn't even get grounded. So, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna. Oh, I don't remember because it was like a few days ago. You were like, oh, you should meditate on that. And I was like, okay, I'll meditate. And then I sat down to meditate and it was like, I'd never, I just, the ground was moving. Like, when you pick up a rug and you go like that's what happened to the ground. I was sitting on, I was like, whoa. And then I tried again and it happened again. I'm like, okay. And then a whole bunch of other weird shit happened. You're probably right. Probably like astral travel stuff, but
yeah,
Gemini season is a very good season for me to sit down and try to meditate on the void. But I'm gonna because it's a challenge. I'm down for a challenge.
You gotta run headfirst into it.
I've done that before. It spat me back out because I was like, I'm so afraid of you. I'm just gonna run into you, and then it spat me back out, and I was like, oh. And I laughed about it.
Try different meditate. Try something guided so you're not just running around. Yes.
Yeah, I have the drums and the music you sent me, so I haven't.
Well, that one's not guided. That's just like shamanic drumming and stuff. But if sometimes it's good, I think, to mix up the meditation so you're not trying to do the same thing every time, especially if it's not working for you. Like find one that's working because it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah, I usually start out in the temple. Like I usually start out in a temple, like when I meditate, and I haven't been doing that lately. And like usually everything's good when I start there.
Which temple?
It's a pyramid. It's a pyramid. I don't know. It's my temple.
I have been talking to you in a temple in my meditations. That's really funny that you say that. Yeah.
Yeah, really? Yeah. Cool. Like, am I smart there? I feel so dumb. It feels so dumb in this body and doing all this stuff.
You're happy. You're happy. So I wasn't asking you to do math or something, so I don't know if you were smarter, but
Sweet. Yeah, that's usually where I start out. I don't know why I've been avoiding it. I shouldn't. But I was like, oh, I'm going to get grounded. And then that's when I saw
Don't
the
wait.
ground all
Don't
moving.
wait for that. Yeah, Kundalini yoga is moving, question mark, is moving meditation. Yes, good too. Good too. But
yeah, my workout routine was a bust, and now I have to start working out again, and I have to slowly move into it. So I've just been doing like lots of stretching and like those somatic like exercises and stuff like that, so I don't hurt myself. You guys, I took 5 pounders, and I was like, absolutely better form than this, but I ripped up all of this in here so bad that I couldn't like do anything. I couldn't like even like hold myself up to do planks. It just hurts so bad. And even just putting lotion on it like this, something pinched, and I'm like, oh.
You just gotta wean yourself into it. Yep.
Yes, yeah. But I'm like, I got that Mars and Aries where I'm like, I could do this. I could lift like 1,000 pounds over my head.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've all been there. Yes.
Yeah.
I messed up my back last week doing squats. All these power lifters are like, oh yeah, you just do like whatever percentage, and then you do. I usually like go up slow, just because I don't do like a traditional warm up. And I'm like, I only put like an extra 20 kilos on or something like that, which I guess is 40 pounds. So maybe that is a lot. But and I pinched the nerve. I'm like, oh fuck. Oh. So yeah. So I'm finally getting back tomorrow. I'm gonna go deadlift, and hopefully it'll heal. But yeah, you just don't listen to other people. Listen to your body. Your body will tell you exactly what you need.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know what I was listening to. I was just happy to like get back into it, and then I just move. Really overdid it. Yeah, it feels so good to lift weights, you guys. I never like loved lifting weights before.
Oh, it's amazing. It's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, it is. It's like this whole, I'm a junkie for it now. I like absolutely love the way it makes me feel. Hits all the like right receptors. Yes. I'm down. Yes. I'm gonna lift some weights. I only have like 2 pounders though I can play with right now. So I'm not gonna push it. I'm not gonna push it. I had some geriatric kind of stuff.
After I had my baby, which was obviously like 8 years ago now or whatever, I couldn't do cardio. Like I was never like a big cardio person. But so all I did was lift weights, and that's how I lost all my baby weight. But I literally started out just doing body weight exercises, and slow. So like literally holding your arms out. Like if you want to, really strain your muscles, like just hold your arms out.
Oh my God.
So,
yeah.
And like as soon as your body starts adjusting to it, you can actually make really strong, like really quick progress, but you have to get that, initial, like again, get your body adapted to it. Nature's Place says, of course, walking in nature as much as you can with dogs is best. Trish Farrell 78 says, everybody talking about war, and I'm over here obsessing over pimping out my front porch to sit in stylish leisure for the summer. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Yes. Mermaids Wear Hat says, I love lifting. Trish Farrell says, weightlifting. Is that the greater than less than symbol? Greater than talk there? Yeah. I feel, look, I've said it, nothing. I don't know.
No, my camera just shut off for some reason.
Oh, okay. I see you now.
Sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
It's like, that's like going to church. I don't know how to explain it. Like when I'm at the gym, like it's like you're like tuned into this. I don't friggin' know. I don't understand it, but I love it. And I'm excited to go back tomorrow. You guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Nature's Place, Mermaid Wear Hats, Trish Farrell 78.
Oh my God,
everybody else who was on, Lady Spellbreaker 13, Ankh, and then possibly a thimble. I can't really tell, it's so tiny. Niki 10. Thank you everybody for being with us today. We will be back next week. You guys register for the event in September. If you haven't already, the link's in the description. First annual Sidereal Astrology Conference. It is going to be awesome. We have Anthony Schmenti, Dr. Dana, Gary O'Toole. Obviously, me and Niki are going to be there, and some other people. It's going to be awesome. So definitely come.
Yeah, we have lots of cool people. Everybody's like excited for it too. We got some cool topics to talk about, and it's interactive, so you should be able to like drop in some questions.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's free. It's online. Definitely like plan ahead. So
it's a Zoom conference. So register, link in the description. All right. Well, We'll be back next week, same time, same place. Take very good care of yourselves over there, and happy solstice, happy new moon. I hope that this new moon brings you all of the wonderful things in life that you could ever want. So, all right, well, we'll see you next time.
Yes.
Bye.